Hello, everybody. Sorry, I was actually putting together a brand new intro, and excuse me, I didn't get it finished. So next time we're on the air, we'll have a brand new intro. I'm putting it together. People that are very current and not necessarily. There's a couple on the old intro that have been either found deceased or something. My dog just gave me the
because your wife wanted to come sit.
My wife wanted to come sit down, but we apologize for not being on Tuesday night. I have been at the doctor's office on multiple times this week, and it turned out I have bronchitis, which I figured I did, but I had a little scare. A little scare. A big scare.
Thank you.
I had a doctor that is not really an MD, but he was a doctor that I know. I was telling him basically my symptoms, and he scared me and said, you may not get checked out. That might be congestive heart failure. Well, because what's happening was I was laying down in bed at night, and the fluid from my sinuses gets down in my chest, causing me to have wheezing and coughing and all this other kind of stuff. So what it amounts to is I had a chest x-ray today, and they said my heart was normal size and everything was normal, but I do have bronchitis. And they did blood work and everything. So I got another telehealth doctor's appointment on Monday, but it appears everything is good in that aspect, and I do not have congestive heart failure according to the x-rays anyway. Heart's normal. But amen.
Yes, it is. It's normal.
And
and it's not black.
It's not black heart too. But I got a couple of things to share tonight with you. One is a video on a news report on the Michael Vaughn case that I wanted to share first. That something that they had got passed through the legislature out there in Idaho. And then we'll talk about the two cases I wanted to mainly, and we'll touch on a couple of more also. But I want you to watch this. First off, I want to put this out here. We are active supporters of this cause. If I can get it to come up, there you go. 22 proud supporters of Tunnels to Towers Foundation. And if you want a good charity to support in your life, this is a great charity. What it is, if you get killed on duty as a police officer, firefighter, or even a soldier dies in combat, then dies in combat.
Yeah, okay.
They will go and pay their house off. They will contact their widow or widower, and they will pay their house off completely. So that's one less worry for the family of the heroes that have lost their lives. Okay, well, I'm going to whoops, that I didn't mean to do that. I barely touched something and it moved. Okay, let me go down here and play this little
Maggie, stop it.
Maggie's got something on her mind about Michael Vaughn. Stand by here.
Now to continuing coverage on a new statewide Amber Alert law that was inspired by the disappearance of a Fruitland boy last summer. I spoke with Brandy Neal, the mother of 5-year-old Michael Vaughn, about the Amber Alert. Michael went missing from their home last July. She says at the time authorities didn't have enough evidence to believe Michael had been abducted, so they weren't able to issue an Amber Alert. That's because in Idaho there are 6 criteria that must be met for an Amber Alert to be issued, and Michael's case didn't meet those. Brandy says 4 code red alerts did go out, but she doesn't think those were as effective as an Amber Alert.
It was very frustrating, very much so. Our entire family was still is. It's angry. We believe Michael should have been issued an Amber Alert. And it didn't happen. So it's very upsetting.
But a new law will change that and hopefully help future cases like Michael's. On March 28th, Governor Little signed Senate Bill 1378, which creates a missing persons alert to notify people in Idaho and surrounding states about an endangered person. It would include adults and children and would allow state police to communicate with authorities in surrounding states. Brandy says she was overwhelmed when the governor signed the bill.
If my heart dropped and I was actually in tears. I wish we had that alert system when Michael went missing. But this will help future families or, people all around.
Police continue to investigate hundreds of tips related to Michael's disappearance, but so far no trace of him has been found. If you have any information about the case, contact Fruitland Police.
And I'll tell you, as you know, that case has really touched me. This is the poster that I try to share every week. Come on. There's Michael Vaughn, 5 years old, blonde, blue, last seen on 7/27/2001. And this is the Honda Pilot they believe was involved in his abduction, or at least they're trying to find this car to rule him out. So that is still out there. Hopefully these parents, even if they get an answer somewhere down the road, hopefully that it would be an answer that they would
they don't have to wonder.
Yeah, they have to wonder. I mean, I can't imagine that. I can't imagine having to wondering about that. Okay, let's touch on a couple more. Want to remind everybody on the Olivia Fowler's case. She, as far as I know, is still missing. I haven't heard anything to
Maggie,
that
stop that
is
low growl.
Maggie's growling at something. I don't know what she's growling at. Is the cat in or out?
Out.
Okay, we may want in. That may be the problem. Okay. Olivia Fowler, anyway, that they keep a lookout for her there in Georgia. And we want to touch on a couple more, and then we'll talk about our main ones tonight. This girl here, and we talked about this one before. This is LINA. I think it's KHIL or HIL. I'm not sure how they explain it there. But she was the young girl that was missing from the park there in Texas, I think it is. Let's see.
That her mother left her in the park. I think she's an Afghan. They come over from Afghanistan.
Right. This was she was last seen the afternoon of December 20th, 2021 at a playground in an apartment complex. And this is what I was talking about. A lot of these playgrounds in the apartment complexes, San Antonio, Texas, they, neighborhood kids that go out there and play, and nobody thinks anything about it because, hey, you live there. Maybe the woman, I'm not saying this would happen, but maybe she was in the apartment and she was looking out the window at her and she didn't, everybody thinks of where you live. What?
Well, nothing.
Everybody thinks on where you live a lot of time is safe. Somebody lives somewhere, they're fairly safe. So they don't worry about them being right outside. I think about this when I was growing up. My mother, hey, I got it.
Oh, okay. Just somebody wanted to see what it said.
Okay.
I was just going to do that.
This one is my coffee cup that I use, and it's Pennzoil. It's a Pennzoil coffee cup. And the reason why, as you know, at least most of you know, I have a condition that is hereditary that I've had since forever. It's all familiar.
As long as I've known him.
Familiar tremors. I do tremble just a little bit. And with this thing, I can drink coffee in a big coffee cup. I don't have to worry about spilling it. But anyway, these I used to go out at night and play hide and go seek and everything down the end of our road, a dead end street. And my mom and parents, everything, they were at the house. They didn't care about it. You as a kid, your daddy said y'all run all over that neighborhood. Never had your parents around you anywhere. It was I think it was a different time. I don't know if it was a different time or people just didn't get snatched.
There wasn't 24-hour news.
Yeah.
That's just like them saying that the school shootings, oh my gosh, Columbine was the worst.
Yeah.
But there was a shooting in Michigan in which a guy got mad at his ex-wife and he set off bombs and killed a bunch of kids in the school.
Okay, this is our first one we want to cover, and I'm going to tell you, I'll give you my opinion on what they're looking at, and I think they're looking at her husband in this disappearance. And because, and I'll show you why in a few minutes. This is out of Atlanta, Georgia. This lady disappeared on February 23rd, 2022. And it says here, do you want to read that at the bottom of that, Dana? Can you read that?
I can't make it bigger.
Okay. Something bad.
She was last known to be visiting family in Johns Creek, Georgia, from Carmel, Indiana, the week of February 20th, 2022, with her husband, their 5-month-old son, and their white Labradoodle. Breland's husband reported her missing February 26th.
6 days later.
Yeah, to the Carmel Police Department in Indiana. However, there is no evidence that Breland ever returned home after the family's trip from Georgia. Breland's last known location while visiting Georgia was in a residence on Highgate Manor Court in Johns Creek on February 23rd. Breland and her family were known to be traveling in a white Volkswagen something with Georgia plates. Anyone with information to her disappearance are asked to contact John Creek's police department
or the FBI. And mainly why they put that vehicle on there is because maybe you saw them in that vehicle in Georgia, and maybe you saw some type of argument or whatever. I think we've learned that from the Gabby case that people saw them arguing. That had a lot to do with it. But it says here, and that's basically the details. I should have made that bigger for you to read, but
it would have helped, but that's
yeah,
okay.
that's all right. It's a Volkswagen Targon or something like that.
Carmel, Indiana is in Hampton County, Teresa said.
Yeah, this one right there is the Volkswagen with it's got a bike rack on the back, Georgia tags, and looks like it's got a sunroof all the way across the top. And this is her husband. It says before vanishing, Miss Breland said husband was before vanishing, said Ciera Breland said husband would be responsible if anything happens to me.
She told her cousins.
Yeah,
that.
she told her cousins that. And this is another picture of him and her. If I can get it, I don't know what's wrong with this thing. There he goes. He looks like he doesn't like his picture taken anyway, but that is a picture there. And says here she was a lawyer and a mother of 5, has disappeared from family. Says her husband was abusive and she had planned to leave him. When we're getting into this thing again, like Barry Murphy, planning. She was planning to leave him, and he probably said, nope, that ain't happening, and did something to her.
Okay, it says, okay, one of the many things that make no sense in the disappearance of Ciera Breland is her husband's statement in Indiana to the Indiana police that he last saw her on February 25th when she left their home on foot at 10 p.m. wearing shorts and a tank top.
Yeah.
It was dead of winter. Temperatures were in the 20s, according to AccuWeather records. She left behind her wallet, her car keys, her cell phone, her identification. Police said she also left behind her 5-month-old son, to whom she was devoted, said her family.
Yeah, that,
Then it goes on. It said, wait a minute. Xavier Breland Jr., 37, did not report his 31-year-old wife missing until a day later. She was a well-respected lawyer in the area. God.
Yeah, I mean, says here she has not been seen in a month. Her family is devastated, saying she had planned to leave her husband, whom said is physically and emotionally abusive. She threatened several times. He had threatened several times to kill her and regularly attacked her. Her cousin, Shelley Campbell, told the Edison Digital, said he had shoved her into things. He would throw things at her when she was pregnant and when she was holding the baby. He hit her in the face with a gun. He bashed her head into a window while they were driving, and he threatened to kill her and screamed at her. I'm gonna tell you, folks, if your husband's doing that to her, there are all kinds of stuff that the law can help you do against them. And I've heard people say, "Well, when
They're too afraid to
being
leave.
in law enforcement, I've heard many women say, I can't go because I don't have anything." Well, now the law will, if you go out there and there's evidence of abuse, the police will arrest them without you pressing charges. That's the new domestic violence laws. And what they will do is they will make him leave. They will put him in jail. You can go down and file a restraining order. And I know a restraining order is just a piece of paper, but that does allow the police, if they catch him in that neighborhood or even anywhere around, to put him in jail. And
that's awful. That child, more than likely,
she should have left him a long
yes,
time ago.
She
sounds
should
like.
have. If he was hitting her when she was pregnant, she should have left him.
All
there.
this.
Okay, so Breland is the sole person of interest in his wife's disappearance. Police say no one has been charged in Ciera's disappearance. No one. Yeah, okay. He is currently being held without bail in Coweta County, Georgia, on charges of aggravated stalking, violation of protection order. Well, maybe they already had that then.
Maybe.
Sending harassing communications to his ex-wife, according to the records. He
had an ex-wife. He did that too.
Yeah, 2 children, 6 and 10 years old. So he was accused of stalking his ex-wife. Breland was arrested in Indiana after reporting Ciera missing and extradited to Georgia based on the arrest warrant issued February 24th when Breland failed to appear for an arraignment in the stalking case, according to online records. He was previously pleaded not guilty to those charges. One of the allegations involved his ex-wife, that he placed a tracking device inside a stuffed animal he gave to the couple's daughter and made harassing phone calls to the woman despite a court order banning him from communicating with her. His court-appointed defense attorney has not responded with several requests. The FBI is offering a $10,000 reward for the information leading to Ciera's whereabouts. Police in Carmel, Indiana, where the couple lived, are working with the police in Jones Creek, Georgia, where the couple had visited before her disappearance.
And I think it's sad because her being a lawyer, she knew all of the laws and how to do it. She could have very well, if nothing else, done a restraining order on him, turned him in on. I don't know. Maybe she found out about the other warrants and was going to do that, and when he did it.
Well, he's harassing his ex-wife while he's there in Georgia visiting with her family. This is crazy. That's crazy, and she's intelligent enough to know what to do.
He's in jail right now, thank God. But we're hoping that somebody saw them in the car and maybe can put her, seen her at a restaurant, motel, anything, so the police need more information so they can backtrack on homicides. The way you work a homicide, and I've worked some, that you start at the last thing they did and you work back, and you find out everywhere they went, who they talked to, who saw them where, and then you try to formulate who did what to them or who they were last with and where they were last seen. But that is a very sad situation, for sure. Let me see. That's on the other one I got to talk about. And while I was looking at Georgia over in there, I ran across this person also that's a missing person over there. Of course, this was back from 2017, but this girl right here, they believe that she was abducted. It's everything that I've read on it. They believe that somebody came to the door where she was house sitting for her parents in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. And they believe either somebody found out, maybe was watching the house, saw her go in the house, but they believe that she was abducted over there. She was a missing person. Jenna Van.
Somebody wants to know you're drinking oil.
Yeah, drinking oil. It keeps my heart from squeaking.
Hey, that's my line.
Hey, how do you pronounce that?
Jenna Van Geraldine.
Geraldine?
Gerald.
She was missing since 2017, and that was in Atlanta, Georgia. She's 140 pounds, 5'11", brown hair, brown eyes, female, 25 years old. And it says she was house sitting for her parents in Atlanta. Last known contact was by phone with a friend in South Carolina. This occurred on Sunday, 8/19 of 2017 at 1:15 a.m. And she drove a blue 2010 Mazda that was later found abandoned in Atlanta, Georgia. So obviously either somebody took her car with her in it or something, but just something sounds, and that's what the information that I have is that they are considered that to be an abduction.
She is beautiful.
Yeah. The next one that I had on there that I did want to talk about is this gentleman right here. It's Justin Glenn Gaines. The family is so missing this kid. They want to know if he's alive, dead, or what. They're offering a big reward for any information that anybody can give on what happened to him. This is a disappearance since 2007, and it happened out of Gwinnett County, Georgia. He weighed 210, 5'11". He's a pretty good sized kid at 18 years old. And the family is they're devastated. They're absolutely devastated about this. And I ran across a news report on this, and I'll let y'all hear it. But he was a 18-year-old college freshman at Gainesville State College and on the Ocoee campus. And says here that when he was last seen early morning hours on November 2nd, 2007, he walked out of Wild Bill's establishment in Duluth, Georgia, and was never actually seen leaving the property. It is not known if foul play was involved in his disappearance. Justin was last seen wearing a gray Abercrombie t-shirt, blue jeans with holes in them. Normally keeps his hair shaven or buzzed. Additional photos and details can be found at that address. However, I've been to that address and I didn't have any luck getting there, so I don't know what the deal is with there. Anybody had information about his whereabouts are asked to call the Gwinnett County Police Department Criminal Investigation.
What do you mean you've been to that address?
I went over to this address trying to find the address of it, and I couldn't find any information other than this is the poster on him that tells about him. And I'm going to play this a little news report that I have on it. Apparently they're even searching to this day, and they found some the news report is from a while back, but what happened was they actually found some bones around a lake that this guy was supposedly believed to be. They had information from a guy in jail. He says, hey, this guy was brought to a house in another city. He was robbed. He was wearing some type of diamond earring in his ear, and he had flashed apparently some money at this club. They believed he was picked up by a girl, and this was the snitch said. He was picked up by a girl in a blonde-headed girl in a car, taken to this residence, robbed and killed, and his body was dumped in the Lanier Lake, and then it floated back up supposedly, and then they took the body and dropped it in another location. But they say all this is fake. Police say that's just not true. But I'm gonna let you
12
watch
years later
this,
and still no
and it
closure
just
for
shows
the
you
family
get
of one of Atlanta's highest profile missing person cases. Skeletal remains were found near Lake Lanier, and it could answer what exactly happened to Justin Gaines. But it also highlights the horrific waiting game families like his go through. November 2nd, 2007. 18-year-old college freshman Justin Gaines was doing what college kids do, having fun at Wild Bill's nightclub in Duluth.
That night I think it was Thirsty Thursdays they called it. So there was almost like 3,000 people there. They pick him up on surveillance camera, and then that's the last they see of him.
At closing time, Justin called a few friends, hoping someone would give him a ride. Justin Gaines was last seen in this parking lot. The question is, where did he go and how did he get there?
He fell off the face of the earth.
The prevailing theory from investigators, Justin's diamond earring and the cash he was flashing in Wild Bill's caught someone's eye. They lured him into a car, took him to a house in Snellville where they robbed and killed him. They then dumped him in Lake Lanier, but when his body floated up, they had to move him to another county.
There are different theories. The hard part about the theories is, are they credible?
Gwinnett police and sheriff's investigators have searched several counties but found nothing. News of remains being found raises everyone's hope until it doesn't.
It's hard, it's wearing, tiring. I mean, every time we hear something about skeletal remains, I mean, it makes your mind run and wonder and relive everything that you've heard over the years.
Dylan Glass, he went to jail for drug charges in 2014. A couple of years ago, he told police he killed Justin.
When we ask where the body is and we try to put closure to it, he's lied, and we catch him in another lie.
False lead or false confession, but they do believe he knows something about Justin's disappearance.
I thought about going to visit him in prison, to be honest, to talk to him. So maybe he has a heart if I would go see him. I mean, what do we have to lose at this point? I mean, it's been a long time. There's so many things that trigger memories. A clone that smelled like Justin, someone that looks like him.
You know, I tell you that I think would be the most, the worst thing about the whole thing is that, not knowing what happened to him, not knowing if he's, they consider he's probably dead, unfortunately. But how did he die? Who's involved? That I think would be. I got an echo.
Sorry.
All right. Well, this is a little thing it's told about it. There, and they covered a lot of it, but said investigators who interviewed dozens of people into Justin's case. They followed up leads that they had taken them into other counties, and while they won't reveal the information, they do have a theory. And this was basically what they're saying is that the investigators believe that the diamond earring and cash attached attention to the wrong person. He left the club at 1:30 a.m. and couldn't find a ride home. Investigators think someone, possibly a blonde woman, lured him into a car. Now, I'm telling you, they're not guessing here. I guarantee you they got somebody that saw a blonde woman, somebody entering a car. Whether it was him or not, we don't know.
Somebody paying attention to him, too.
Yeah, right. I mean, at 1:30, you can expect there may be a few people leaving about that time because that's probably when they called last call. From there, the working theory is they took to a house in Snellville where he was robbed and killed, dumped his body in Lake Lanier, and he floated up a few days later. Suspects then took it. That to me is almost non-believable.
Because why would they go back to the scene of the crime?
Yeah, right. And the fact is, that body is not going to come up in the exact same spot that he goes in. It's just not going to do it. I've been involved where we've recovered drowning people. A lot of people drowned on the Gulf Coast, and they'll now where they go under, you can pretty much go out there and yeah, you might find them where they drown within 10 or 15 feet around where they drown. But if it a couple of days later, no, it's going to be. It might be 40 miles down the beach
And
or a lake. They're going to be way down. Depends on how cold the water is, and if they weighted the body down. It depends on a lot of stuff.
Well, and also like beach bum. Wait a minute. Yeah, who did he go with? Never leave your friends. Well, he may
I think
not.
he's by himself.
He
to
may
what I
not have been there
indicated.
with friends, but the other thing is they could have slipped something in a drink of his.
Yeah, it says one such false lead came from Dylan Glass, and that was what the report said. He told investigators information about his murder. In fact, he even said he murdered him at first, but then for whatever reason, it turned out the information was false. And you know they got a lot of information that from different people. $25,000 reward on lead the information leading to arrest the person involved. And they're asking for Crime Stoppers out of Gwinnett County are asking if you have any information about him. The parents want closure.
Yeah.
Parents are going, now I'm going to tell you, and you're right. If you go out to a club, especially a female, always go with a group and never leave your group, period, because that's when you end up in trouble.
And as the
And
extra, as the girlfriends, if you see a friend or a guy, if you see your friend is getting too drunk and he doesn't want to go with you, whatever, I still would say force the issue. Don't let them go off with somebody.
But I mean, for a male, it's not uncommon for a male to go by themselves to a club, and that's just the way it is. But it sounds like to me he might have knew this person he got in the car with, or maybe a girl comes up, blonde-haired girl, and he thinks, But to me, with the way it is now, with people getting suckered into getting robbed, that's a clean way to get robbed. You get in the car with somebody you think is good and somebody's hiding in the back seat, or they drive a quarter mile down the road, pull over and said, I got something wrong with my car. They get out, other guys get on you, and you get robbed and worse. But so somebody knows something on this.
Beach
and
Bum said, do they have a video of him arriving?
I don't know if they have one arriving. The only one that they had was on the news report of him leaving, and he did leave by himself, but he may have been intoxicated because if you notice, it says he was trying to find a ride home, trying to call people to get a ride home. So he probably was too intoxicated to leave. If a lot of these, I understand why these clubs do this, because they get people in there and they want to establish at a social atmosphere. And so they do these 25-cent well drinks, they call them. And that's basically 25-cent bar drinks, what they serve like on the bar, not their high-end drinks, but they'll do crazy, I've heard of it, 25-cent pitchers of beer. And if you do that, you're going to attract lots and lots of people. And or they'll say they'll offer drinks at a low price just to the women, knowing they'll get the women in there, and then the guys are going to come after it. But it's a very, just think. I mean, I can't imagine my son or even a friend's son, missing and not having a clue what happened to him. Or you're talking about, this is 10 years basically, and they put out on the 5th anniversary, they did a little uptick about trying to get people involved and finding him. But somebody knows, but they said they could not say that he ever left the club for sure. So, but I know somebody knows something in there. They don't just disappear completely. I did. I did see also if on is something else. I was hoping to get a copy of the YouTube video. Has anybody seen the new report on the Summer Wells case? The lead investigator apparently talked to the news media, and I did not. I did not have a chance because I'll be honest with you, I've been kind of running around today trying to get
X-rays and
X-rays and blood
work.
work, and when I sat down on the computer and went through things, I didn't. I saw it. I wanted to copy it, and I didn't get it. Has anybody seen anything on that on the investigation on the Summer Wells and the lead investigator talking about it?
Okay, so while you're waiting on somebody to answer, Wilco is checking in with us.
Yeah.
It's in the mornings in the Netherlands there.
Well, welcome. Welcome.
Yep. Good
We're all-
morning, everyone from the Netherlands.
We are all we love our European guests that
We have
we have friends in Europe.
yeah, we have friends in the Netherlands,
Yeah, we have friends in the Netherlands there and
missionaries.
yeah, missionaries over there. Let me look at this
And
real
yes,
quick.
this T-shirt is my birthday present from Tommy. It's my rabbit. And I fell in love with this little rabbit. And I will wear it on other days besides Easter, I can assure you.
Let me read this to you. I'm looking at, so I don't have the screen up where I can see you. Dina can see you. But it said Rogersville, Tennessee, the pressure has been immense on the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office to figure out what happened to Summer Wells, who was reported missing in June 2021. I didn't realize it had been that long. It was a lot to shoulder. It's been a lot to burden. Well, you know what? I think it's been a lot to burden on a lot of people. We have a missing child that hadn't been found yet, said Detective John Pruitt of Hawkins County Sheriff's Office. Pruitt is a led the investigation in the summer disappearance. Almost 10 months in, and so much heartache. I'm sorry, I can't read today. And investigators aren't immune from hurt. The question of what happened to Summer still has no answer. You know, I can't believe you got the FBI and you got the TBI, which the TBI is an awesome investigation service. I've actually met. He's no longer there, but I did meet the last head of that unit over in Lynchburg, Tennessee, one day. Talked to him. He's a super nice guy. There hasn't been very many cases like this, he said. I have ever worked, and I have worked a missing child case with all different entities and agencies involved. His days are devoted to finding her. My day, I check with a tip line, voicemail, then I first get here. I do phone calls, follow-ups on any credible leads we've gotten, Pruitt said. I follow up on anything that I didn't get a good conclusion the day before, and then I go into my normal caseload for any new cases. I've got follow-ups on them. Investigators have received over 2,000 tips. It's sporadic. One day you might get 5 leads. The next day you might not get any. It's been an active investigation. I've been devoted to since the first occurred, he said. I will follow up on everything I can and try to bring it to closure for this. And you know, one thing is, and I don't know how big this sheriff's department is, but they ought to have somebody that all he does is this case. And I know there'd be days that he doesn't do anything, but I can't imagine getting 5 leads one day and having time to even follow up on a lead the next day, because I think they ought to have one person and one person only on this, or, you know, I mean, more than one, but at least have that's all they do is this case. The wandering away and sneaking off to go play or whatever she may have done is a viable option. I don't think that. I'm telling you guys, I don't feel that way. Police are probably tired of hearing this. All possibilities are on the table. We're not completely eliminating the abduction idea, but there is nothing to lead us to believe that we need to focus on that alone. Well, I thought they had a dog, a canine, that actually followed a scent from the house out through the woods to another road. And correct me if I'm wrong on that. In the height of the search on the ground, through miles of tough, rugged terrain, leaving many up to wonder how there was no trace of Summer. She was 3 foot tall, 40 pounds. She's lower to the ground, smaller body, a lot more flexible. Pruitt said, "Now I don't believe that." Man, come on, guys. Pruitt works alongside the TBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation, along with the ground search. And it says those investigators have poured over the data, surveillance videos, GPS locations, cell phone tracking, cell phone data, electronic data, anything and everything they can think of or get their hands on. We have gone through reams and reams of data, collected statements, chased down credible leads, every credible lead that has been given to us, and still no further along than we were when we started. You know, I really, 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 they said it's not going to let this thing go cold, but I really think that they need a task force on this. They need every day they need to go out, even if they have to go out there and do a grid search again for her, because and they need to find this truck. They need to find that maroon truck with the railing on top of it. I just don't believe that she wandered off and walked through the woods on her own. That terrain is very rugged, and I don't care if she's slippery and got, you know, real small and can get through this area. I just don't think she could do it.
Okay. The alarm
Really
was
don't.
the alarm was to let me know that the lasagna is ready
Oh,
to come
boy.
out. So I'm going over to take the lasagna
Okay.
out of Dad's oven. And it was good to see all of y'all. And yes, this is my T-shirt that Tommy bought me
Yeah.
for my birthday, and I
It's your
love
rabbit
it.
T-shirt. I love it too.
I love it.
And listen, if you're not a member of our other channel, I want to ask you something. I want to ask you to please. We have been struggling to make it to 1,000 subscribers on our other channel, our RV channel. We are at 839 this morning. We put out a video or a live stream 2 times a week. We got another one supposed to be out on Sunday. We put out on Wednesday and Sunday. We were doing Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, but it just got to be too much for me with everything going on. I'm not a young buck anymore. And and it takes me about 4 or 5 hours to do a editing on a video and upload it, because the internet in here, even though I got pretty good internet, we're still not as good as hopefully in the future I'll have Starlink. That's what I'm working on. Yeah, her cooking video, we put out one not too long ago, cooking with cousins. That was really good. But we're going to ask you to, if you would, to go over to our RV channel, and I'm going to put this right up here. It's the 1 Million Mile Road Trip, and this it says join the journey, and it shows you our YouTube channel is www.youtube.com/C/the 1 Million Mile Road Trip will take you directly to us, or just search the 1 Million Mile Road Trip, or maybe one of our mods will put that out there. But we got big plans. Even though diesel is crazy, we have big plans for the summer, and we'll tell y'all about that. We just didn't know with all this doctor stuff going on and Diesel at it like it was that where we were going to be doing. But from here, we're going to Nashville to see my son. And from there, we're going to Milwaukee to see my daughter. We're going to spend hopefully about 2 to 3 weeks up there. She's going to carry us to a pro baseball game and another little thing we're going to do, hopefully, concert. And then we're going to start out west on a big adventure that we hope that you will tune in for. And maybe we'll get back on a schedule that is a little bit closer to what everybody wants to do on this channel also. So we're working on it. I mean, to this latest thing that I had to do with the doctor, I just ask you to pray that I have a good report on my blood work on Monday. I think it will be because that, thank you. I appreciate the being a new subscriber there. I hopefully that it'll be that all of my blood work is normal and good, and it won't delay us at all in what we're doing. But either way, man, we're going to put out some good content. And just there's I put out sometimes also a hey man, I appreciate the prayers, man. I really do. I believe in prayer, and I just was very nervous about everything and how it went over, and we just appreciate everybody uh, praying for me and praying that we have a good report out on Monday. I feel like I will after seeing. Believe it or not, they sent me or let me see my X-rays today. So naturally, being the person that wants to know ahead of time, I went to the illness that I had in question and looked those X-rays of that, and then I looked at a normal X-ray, what that would be, and what a bronchitis X-ray would be, and then I had it pretty much figured out myself. But thank you, Stephen. I appreciate that you did subscribe. And the reason why, and we, of course, we want subscribers, but right now YouTube is making money, and I'm not getting a red cent off of the advertisement they put on YouTube, because until I gather one is 1,000 subscribers and the watch time is going to take a little bit more than the times that I get subscribers. But if you could share, please, yes, Teresa, if you could share my channel, that would be awesome. And hey, leave us a comment and let us know what you believe that you like to see or anything different, and we'll try to do it. Listen, I mean this with sincerity, all my heart. I mean it. We love each and every one of y'all. I really cannot say enough about it, about y'all and how y'all feel about us. We really do. I'm sincere when I say that. And we hope that you will come back again. And we usually broadcast on Tuesdays. We're going to get where we may be doing 2 nights a week on this channel as we start traveling more when we're out. Right now, Medina is staying over there with her dad as much as possible. He is in his late 80s. It's in good health, but because he is in his late 80s, is she wants to be there for him and help him out. And so we're here probably till next week sometime, and then we're headed to Nashville, at least see her son, and then up to Milwaukee, which, believe it or not, they had snow last week. So maybe we won't have any snow, but if we do, that's fine too. We love y'all sincerely. I mean that with all my heart. We love y'all, and we hope we see you again soon. Keep me in your prayers. I realize that I'm not Superman. I'm getting older, and things happen. So keep me in your prayers. We believe God is good all the time. And we hope I'll have us another intro. I am working on that as we speak. And when I get off here, I'll probably have it finished in another probably few minutes anyway and put it up there. But we do appreciate y'all tonight, and God bless all of y'all. Really, God bless you. And we hope we will see you next week. We love you very, very much. Good night.